Board of Education trustee is leading the charge to remove books she considers inappropriate for some local school children. The push comes after a recent audit of books found in classrooms of the local community and court schools.
I recently sat down with that trustee to talk about what topics she believes should not be allowed in schools and local literacy advocates who say this discussion may be a slippery slope.
However, I found one more book on the list that is sexually explicit and inappropriate for children.
Kern County Board of Education trustee Lori Cisneros is concerned about the books available to students in court and community schools. So last year, she asked the Kern County Superintendent of Schools to send her a list.
It's shocking that it is accessible to students.
What she found was a young adult novel from Ellen Hopkins titled Smoke, which features some passages depicting sexual violence. That led to Smoke and 5 other books being pulled from school shelves, and Cisneros says it's not known how those books ended up being available to students. Cisneros now wants the board to adopt a policy to prevent something like this from happening again.
Teachers can bring in their personal libraries, and it doesn't seem like anything is in place at the moment to track what it is that's being brought in. And now, because the political climate is changing, there's a push for information that students are not ready to process to be available to them.
Debate over the appropriateness of school books is a growing front in the so-called culture war across the country. School boards in some conservative-leaning states moving to remove books involving LGBTQ issues. Cisneros believes similar policies should be adopted here.
I do not believe that those should be allowed in school libraries or in classroom libraries. Let's not bring in political agendas.
Unfortunately, when you start to narrow it down and you start to look at specific groups, perhaps like the LGBTQ community, you have to be very careful that you're not erasing a group of people.
Ian Anderson is a political science professor and executive director of the Kern Literacy Council, which aims to promote literacy in our region. He says content review is a normal function of government, but limits on which topics students are exposed to can hurt a student's education.
The state data does show that we really need to be bringing in interventions and not removing material.
Anderson works alongside 16-year-old Carter Beardsley, the council's youth literacy chairman. As a member of the LGBTQ community himself, he believes access to books that contain controversial topics can help students understand those that are different than them.
So books like that are really important because it helps students expand their view on what the world looks like around them. And I think that the more and more that we limit that, the more and more we limit opportunities for students to kind of learn about the people who they may be different from.
But Cisneros does not see it that way, and while she may face some opposition at the next board meeting, she wants the County Board of Education to be an example for the rest of the school boards across the county.
If we take care of this and model how to find the books, how to look for them, how to find them, how to determine if it's inappropriate or not, and then writing this policy, we will encourage other districts across Kern County to do the same so we can potentially protect all of Kern County.
A potential policy would only affect students in the care of the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, like those in emergency shelters in the criminal justice system or need special care. The next Board of Trustees meeting is set for Tuesday, February 13th at 6:30 p.m.